Hey everyone, it's Kaycie and I am excited to guide you all through a stretch and mobility class where the focus is going to be on opening and stabilizing through the shoulders. So lots of good shoulder work today. And all you're going to need is a strap or a belt, and that's it. So come to a comfortable seat to start. Close your eyes. Lift the spine nice and tall. And as you lift the spine, focus on pulling the shoulders forward and up towards the ears, lifting them up as high as you can, and then pull the shoulders back. Keep the chest lifted as you melt the shoulders all the way down the back. Let's do that one more time. Slowly pull the shoulders forward, lift them up. Keep the spine lifted as you draw the shoulders back, and relax them all the way down. Now, as you focus on this nice long spine, relaxed shoulders, try to take your ribs and imagine them knitting in towards the midline. So if they're flaring open, draw the ribs towards one another and just feel a little more core stabilization here. We're gonna focus a little on the breath to help kind of guide us through any of the postures that we're going to go through today. Exhale, let everything out of the lungs. Slow breath in through the nose. Expand your belly. Expand your rib cage and all the way up into your chest. Fill the space between the shoulder blades, holding it here. Open your mouth, nice cleansing sigh. Exhale all the way out. Again, this time through the nose the whole way. Inhale through your belly, ribs, drawing the breath up into your chest and your shoulders, holding it here. Keep the breath through the nose as you exhale, empty out your chest, empty out your rib cage, and fully release all the way out through your belly and low back. We're going to take one more of those together. Slow inhale from the bottom. Rise to the mid. All the way up into your chest and shoulders, upper back. Holding the breath. Through the nose, exhale from the top. Mid. And all the way out through the bottom. Go ahead and take one more on your own. And I will always emphasize the breath, especially as we move into deep stretches or intense postures where we tend to hold the breath. We're allowing the breath to be the communication of the body. When it stops, we've gone too far. When it becomes choppy, we can back off. When we're smoothly breathing, we're in that green zone. Okay, let's go ahead and blink open through the eyes. We're gonna start with some simple cat-cows just to get the spine in motion with the shoulders. So let's take a deep breath in. Hands cup over the knees, and exhale, draw the chin to your chest. Start to wrap the tailbone under, curl your spine, your back as much as you can. And then inhale, start to pull your ribs forward, feel the heart begin to lift up. Feel the sit bones starting to shine back. Nice extension in the spine. And exhale, rounding back in. Curling everything in. Tail is tucked, chin is tucked. Inhaling, open up. And just take a couple more on your own. You can really focus on the movement of the shoulders and kind of overemphasizing. We'll be moving into this a little bit deeper here in a second as well. One more full round of breath. And then slowly make your way back up into a nice neutral spinal positioning. We're going to interlace the fingers and flip the palms forward as you reach the arms right out in front of you. So straight out from the shoulders, let's take a deep breath in. And we're going to try to isolate the movements now just with the upper back and shoulders. Exhale, you're gonna press through the palms around the upper back and shoulders, but try to keep the pelvis nice and neutral. And then inhale, you're gonna pull the shoulder blades back, open up the space in the front of the chest, and imagine your shoulder blades pinching back towards one another. And then exhale, press round. Once again, try to keep the movement isolated to the upper part of the body. Inhaling, opening up. And exhale, press. Now inhale, lift the arms all the way up over your head as best as you can. Even if there's a little bow in the elbows, it's okay. But really try to focus on drawing the palms up. And then inhale, lift your shoulders up towards your ears. And then exhale, relax the shoulders down. Again, inhale, press up, lift the shoulders as high as you can. And then exhale, melt the shoulders down. Inhale up. Exhale them down. Now you're going to bend the elbows and take the hands behind the back of the head. Let the head rest back into the hands a little bit as you open up the elbows nice and wide. Start to open up your ribs and your chest. Let's take one more breath here. So notice that the ribs, when we knit them in, the spine becomes a little bit more neutral and we isolate to the shoulders. But when we open up the ribs, we're allowing that little bit of a heart opener as well into the upper back. And then release your fingers, pull your elbows wide as the arms come all the way down to your sides. And then we're going to take the fingers behind the back, interlace the fingers now from this position. Palms don't have to touch. You can let them separate. Draw the knuckles down towards the floor, away from the shoulders, feeling the arms extend as much as you can. If you can't fully straighten the arms, you can also take your strap or your belt between your hands and just use it as a little bit of a spacer. As you extend, keep the spine tall and just slowly start to lift the arms away from that lower back as much as you can. Let's take a couple deep breaths here. Notice the difference when you open up the chest, letting the ribs kind of flare open, and then when you draw the rib cage in, isolating to the shoulders. All right, go ahead and bring the knuckles back down towards the lower back. Release the hands, pull the shoulders forward and up. Exhale, release them all the way back and down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, roll the shoulders forward and up, spine lifts. And then exhale, melt the shoulders all the way back and down. Okay, go ahead and reach over for your strap or your belt. And you're just gonna bring it over your right shoulder. We may use it, we may not. It's there as an option either way. So we're gonna start off first with kind of opening up through the outer arm into the shoulder. And then we'll move on to the variation where the strap is over the shoulder. So you're just gonna kind of let it hang out there for a second. Right arm is gonna reach forward with the thumb up and then cross the arm over the chest. As you do, you can create a little hook with your left arm or hand, whatever you'd like, but try to keep the right arm straight as you pull it closer in towards your chest while keeping your spine nice and lifted. Now, right now you're using the leverage to get into your flexibility. You're pulling in with that left hand, extending out through the right. One more deep breath. Now we're gonna resist. So we're gonna hold that arm in place. So the left hand is gonna hold it in place. And then the right arm is gonna stay nice and straight. And then you're gonna push the right arm forward as though you're gonna try to press it through the left arm, feeling the activation of those muscles. If it feels like too much, come out of it a little bit first. Holding here for 3, keep the spine long and lifted. 2, and 1. Now relax it a little bit and really feel that arm pulling closer to you. Activate the muscles to try to keep it glued towards your chest as you release your left hand down. It's okay if it swings open a little bit, but use the muscles to try to pull it in for 3, 2, 1. Right arm's gonna reach all the way up over your head, bending the elbow and let the hand drop back and grab a hold of that strap or belt. Okay, from here we wanna really make sure that that arm is not pushing the chin to the chest. There's no force or pressure on the head at all. The head is up and we're trying to angle that right elbow up as well. Now, left arm is gonna reach to the left side. Thumb goes down to create the internal rotation of the shoulder, bending the elbow, and then sweep the arm around the back, holding on to the other end of your strap. You can walk your hands towards each other. Maybe the hands stay at the strap. Maybe your fingertips can touch, okay? Either way, stick with your variation. The head is free. There's no pressure here. Top elbow points up, bottom elbow points down. First, just feel the stretch here for a couple deep breaths. Now we're gonna create a little bit of resistance. Hold on to your fingertips or hold on to that strap. Whatever you have a hold of, just hold it. And then you're gonna try to pull your hands away from each other. And as your hands pull away from each other, feel that slight activation. If it's too much, back off a little bit. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and relax, but you're gonna try to keep your hands in this shape as you release a hold of the strap or a hold of your fingers, and then just hold your hands in this shape and imagine trying to reach them towards each other. 1, 2, and 3. Go ahead and relax your arms to your sides. Roll your shoulders out a few times. And then we can switch shoulders. So switching that strap over to your left shoulder now. Okay, we're gonna go through that same setup, opening into the shoulders. Left arm forward, thumb up, taking the arm across the chest. Right hand hooks in front and use it to help kind of pull it in. I'm gonna set the strap just for a second, just so it's not on the microphone. Okay, as you pull the arm in, spine up nice and tall. Try to keep that left arm straight. Just using that leverage for that nice stretch into the outer arm, all the way up into your shoulder. One more breath here. Okay, now we're gonna create a little bit of tension. So if you're fully maxed out, come out just a little bit. You're gonna hold that left arm in place with your right arm. And then resist with your left arm. Try to push it forward in front of you, but the right hand is keeping it locked in position. Activating here for 3, 2, make sure you're breathing, 1. And then go ahead and relax. Try to keep the arm now pulled in as you release your right arm down. Keep pulling the arm in closer for 3, 2, 1. Now the left arm is gonna reach up and over your head, bending the elbow and reaching down for your strap or your belt. Right arm reaches right, thumb turns down, internal rotation of shoulder, sweeping it around, grab a hold of the other end, or maybe fingers connect. You can walk your hands up and down the strap as much as it feels good. If you're connecting fingers, great. If you're holding on to the strap, great. Now, once again, make sure the head is free. Left elbow points up, right elbow points down, and just take a moment to feel this shape. Spine lifts, few breaths. Okay, now holding on to the strap or your fingers. If you need to create a little more space, you can. We're gonna find that resistance. So pull your hands away from each other. Your top hand's trying to pull up, your bottom hand's trying to pull down for 3, 2, and then 1. Relax that tension and release a hold of the strap, but keep the hands here. And then imagine trying to pull the hands towards each other for 3, 2, and 1. Relax the arms to the sides. Set the strap to the side just for a moment. We're gonna use it here in a second. Roll the shoulders out a few times. Whatever movement kind of calls to you here, kind of trust that inner guidance. Move with it. Okay. So now we're gonna grab our straps again, okay? If you have a really long strap, I'd suggest folding it in half to start, and that way we don't have too much just kind of flopping around in space. We want a little tail, right? So holding one end, the other end has a little tail that we can adjust from, okay? And I would prefer being able to adjust because you might need more space as we move in. If folding it in half just isn't enough, you can always open it up more and just know you're gonna have a little loose end, totally fine. Okay, but there is kind of a threshold on this one where if you open your arms too wide, the strap's gonna brush the top of your head. So I'll kind of show you here, holding on to your strap or belt and extend your arms forward in front of you. I would recommend taking your hands wider than your shoulders. If you have really tight shoulders, I'd suggest opening them maybe a fair distance wider than your shoulders. But the objective here is we want to keep the arms straight and we want to keep them moving together, which means they're not going to start opening independently of one another, okay? If we're doing that, we're kind of avoiding what we're trying to work towards here. So with the arms straight, spine tall, inhale, begin to lift the arms up and over your head. And as you start to let them kind of drop back a little bit, you're gonna feel this point of tension. And if you don't, your hands are probably a little too wide. If it just drops all the way back, adjust your hands. Okay, so once you kind of feel that point of tension, first lift the spine tall and feel your rib cage draw in, so you keep that core engagement and just notice how it feels into your shoulders. Take another breath here. And now we're gonna open up the rib cage, allow a little more heart opening. You might even bend the elbows slightly and just kind of feel open here. One more breath. All right, now spine comes back to neutral, but keep your arms here, straighten them out. If it is too tight, I want you to separate your hands. If it doesn't feel like enough, you can bring your hands closer together. If you feel you've hit that sweet spot, keep your hands where they are. Arms are gonna stay straight and they're gonna stay moving in the same plane together. Slowly let them drop all the way back and down, okay? So this is where you can make those adjustments. We're gonna inhale, lift the arms back up. Recognize I'm not moving them independently of one another. And then exhale, bring them forward and down. So now you're gonna have a good kind of warm up, knowing exactly where you're gonna be. Hands can come in for more intensity. Hands can walk farther away if you need more space. Now go ahead and start to move on your own. Inhaling, we'll lift the arms up. Exhaling, we'll drop the arms back. Move slow. Inhaling and exhaling, dropping them back and down. Okay, continue to move on your own. And as you do, I'm gonna kind of break down for those that might have tighter shoulders. If you have some really tight shoulders and your arms are open really wide, when the arms come up over your head, you may notice that the strap kind of hits the head a little bit. So if needed, you can drop the chin to your chest and work it from here just to provide a little extra space. If that's still not enough, it's okay if it brushes over the top of your head. Work where you are, okay? Just try to find the range of motion that feels most appropriate for you. If you need to, you can also do one arm at a time by just holding the other arm into a bent position, okay? If you're super tight in your shoulders, that might be the better alternative, okay? One arm at a time. Otherwise, wherever you are, give yourself a couple more full rounds, lifting up and over, all the way back, bringing them back up, forward and down. Last round here. And then lift them up over your head. You can walk hands a little bit closer together, and I want you to think about a helicopter, but you're gonna let your ribs and spine kind of work with you here. So start to open up the arms over your head, find a big circular motion, and let the rest of the body kind of work into it. Feel the torso, the spine, and then switch the direction that you're moving in. And then bring the arms all the way down in front of you. You can set your strap out of the way for now. Okay, so now that we've got some nice opening from a seated position, we're gonna come down onto our bellies. Slowly come through tabletop position and all the way down onto your bellies here. So from your bellies, let's come up onto the forearms here for just a moment. We're gonna start by reaching the right arm to the right side, palm faces down, okay? Left hand is gonna pull underneath your left shoulder like a half push-up position with the left hand, okay? Bending the left knee, I'm gonna press open onto my right hip. And as I do, I'm gonna walk the right fingertips away to create more space for the shoulder so I'm not pinching into it. And then I'm gonna roll open as much as I can, resting my head to the ground or to a block or anything if it doesn't quite reach the ground. Left foot is gonna drop down to the floor right behind me. If that's too much, opening up the front side of the hips, you can always just rest the left knee down on top of the right leg. Okay, work where you are. Left hand can stay to the ground in front of you, helping to press open, or left arm can drop around to your lower back, opening from here. Now, if it's part of your practice to come into really deep shoulder openers, you can also extend your left arm back. Maybe the fingers connect, maybe they don't. Today, mine say, nope, and that's all right. Try not to force the motions to happen, just feel into it. We don't want to adjust the right arm just to try to connect our hands. We want to feel the stretch right where it is, directly out from the shoulder. One more breath. If you adjusted your left hand, bring it back down to the ground in front of you and slow yourself down as you roll back over onto your bellies and your hips. Nice. Switch your hands. Right hand now plants underneath the right shoulder. Left arm reaches to the left side, palm down. I'm gonna bend the right knee and press onto the left hip as I walk the fingertips of that left hand away. Head settles down, and I'm opening up the front side of my body, pressing the fingers into the ground. Find that correct position for your right foot. And stay here, or right arm sweeps around into your lower back. Or once again, if without moving that left arm, you can connect fingertips into a clasp, you can take that variation as well. Take a couple more breaths. If you did adjust your right hand, let's bring it back over, bring it to the floor in front of you, and slowly start to roll back over, belly and hips. Let's come back up onto the forearms. And as you do, we're gonna cross right forearm in front of the left. Fingers are pointing away from each other, okay? Start to slowly walk your fingers away from one another so the arms are crossing. And you're gonna keep walking them out until you feel your personal edge. Try to let your body weight kind of settle into them. And if you can, relax your head down. Give yourself a few deep breaths. Head lifts up. Now, depending on how far you've walked your hands away from each other, I want you to walk them about halfway back towards the original start, okay? So you can always walk them in more if the next kind of movement is difficult. So press through the hands and try to lift your elbows off the ground. Okay, if you can't straighten the arms, you can bring them down, bring the hands closer, and then lift. And then from here, you're gonna press your hands down and imagine trying to pull your hands towards each other, feeling the arms light up for 3, 2, and 1. Relax, elbows lower all the way down. Switch arms, left arm in front, fingers pointing away from each other. Slowly walk the hands out to the sides. Lowering yourself slowly over the arms, relax the head. Give yourself a few deep breaths. Last one here. And then as the head comes up, slowly walk the elbows back halfway. Press into the palms and then try to lift the elbows off the ground, straightening the arms as much as you can. And as you push down, try to pull your hands towards each other for 3, 2, 1. Lower the elbows all the way down. Now, as you uncross the arms, stretch them forward in front of you, come up onto the fingertips. You can let the head drop down and just focus on pressing your fingertips down into the ground, feeling that lift all the way up the arms to the shoulders. One more deep breath. Okay, lowering the elbows. Go ahead and walk back up onto your forearms for just a moment. We're gonna go through a few rounds or a couple rounds of kind of different ways that we can move into the shoulders from our belly. So I'm gonna show you first, then we're gonna get into it together. Since your head will be down, you're gonna be looking at the floor. I don't want you having to look at me the entire time. So from a prone position, face is gonna be down. Our arms are gonna be extended forward in front. Okay, and if you can only do one at a time, do one at a time. But we're gonna kind of focus on both at the same time. But if at home that's too challenging, just isolate the movement to one side and just be sure to hit pause and do the other side as well, okay? So I'll show you on one side what it looks like. We're gonna extend, we're gonna have our thumbs pointing up with the arms forward in front of us, overhead. And then we're gonna work on activating and lifting the arms away from the ground. Now, even if they don't lift, we're gonna try to lift, which is gonna activate the same muscle groups. And then, once the arms lift, we're gonna slowly take them to the sides so the palm will go down. And then as the arm sweeps down towards the sides or towards the back of the mat, we're gonna rotate the thumb down, palm up, bending the elbow and trying to sweep the hand as high up on the back as you can. If it touches, it's okay, but try to keep it lifted away from the back as it draws up. And then as we bring it back down, we're gonna start to turn the thumb down, bring it out to the side, palm down, bring the arm forward, thumb up, and then we'll drop the arm back down. Okay, once again, we're gonna try to do both at the same time. Let's try to get at least a couple rounds in here. Okay, so head goes down. Thumbs are up with both arms extended forward unless you're doing one at a time. From here, lift the arms up. Thumbs are pointing up. Keep lifting. Slowly bring the arms to the sides as you rotate the palms down. Keep the arms lifted up. Then sweep the arms down towards the back of the mat. Thumbs rotate down, and then flip the palms up as they come towards the sides. Bend the elbows. Try to keep the hands lifted away from the back as you draw them as high up on the back as you can. And then slowly bring the arms back down. Thumbs turn down. Bring them out to the sides. Palms turn down. Keep them up. Bring the arms overhead. Thumbs rotate up. And then drop the arms to the floor. So notice how that feels on the shoulders. We're working that full rotation and movement into the shoulders. So move slow, recognize the areas that feel really tight. We're gonna do that just one more time. With the thumbs pointing up, activate, lift the arms, breathe. Slowly bring the arms to the sides, palms rotate down. Bring them all the way down towards your legs, thumbs rotate down, palms start to flip up. Bend the elbows, hands draw up the back. Try to keep them lifted away from the back. Then bringing them back down to the sides. And then from the sides, thumbs turn down. Bring them all the way out from the shoulders, palms turn down. All the way overhead, thumbs turn up. And then drop the arms. Slowly walk the hands underneath your shoulders. Press back onto all fours, tabletop position. And then into a comfortable seat of your choice. Close your eyes, hands to your heart center. Exhale, let your breath out. Slow breath in through the nose, belly, ribs, and all the way up into your chest, holding. And then open your mouth and let it out. Relax your breath. Thank your bodies for all that they do for you. And thank you so much for allowing me to guide you today. Namaste. Thanks so much, everyone. These are some of my go-tos for opening and stabilizing into the shoulders. So I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments, and I'll have more content like this coming your way soon. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Thanks, y'all.